We're going to make a hidden paperclip using our embossed envelope, and it slides on the side of a book page. It slides on the side of a book page like this, and you have this side, and you have this side. Hello, welcome, this is Cara. It's letter E if you're doing the ABC challenge, and day 42 for the 100-day challenge. Today I've pulled out some envelopes and embossing folders, and I am doing something I've never done. I can't believe it. The technique has been around for a while. I saw Denise PaperKraftD's video and I put it on my to-do list of things I want to do, and that is inking and embossing envelopes with distress oxides on your envelope. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, I practiced before I started recording and I found some things out. All right, I'm going to insert a clip here. Okay, I'm going to ink up my embossing folder, and I'm going to ink up both sides. So you don't have to do this, but I did just because I think it looks really pretty on either side. And if you make these early or ahead of time, you can decide which side you want to use when it comes to using it for a project. So you're just swiping it across the embossing folder like this. And then I'm going to spritz my envelope. Do I spritz it? Yep. Spritz it with just a light spray of water. And then I'm going to set it in my embossing folder, and you can decide if you want the flap up or down. And then you run it through. And it's just that simple. And then you come out with a really cool looking embossed envelope. Look how pretty. I love it. I love it. It's so cool. All right, back to the other part. So a couple things we want to talk about when it comes to embossing. On your platform, it will have different sandwiches for embossing folders. This is ink because I make a mess when I ink. And it says for me to use 2 plates. However, when I tried to use 2 plates with my embossing folder, it didn't go through the machine. So I only used this board, a cutting mat, and then my embossing folder. So you might have to fiddle with your actual machine and the different sandwich that you're going to use. Okay, and the other thing is I'm using Distress Oxide. If you have other inks, give it a try. I'm sure it will be wonderful. All right, and then the other thing is the type of embossing folder you want to use. I found that the 3D embossing folder, ones that have the 3D on there, do not really work for this because it cuts right through the envelope, which is cool if you have thicker, not that it's cool that it cuts through it, but it will make a really detailed embossing, but it's meant for thicker paper than an envelope. And the other thing I found, if you have really intricate embossing folders, it does the same thing. It just cuts right through the envelope. So you want to look for embossing folders in your stash that have open or blank space, because when you put the ink on, when you ink it, that flat area, that's going to be what takes the ink. Now you can do the opposite and do the raised side, and then the debossed area will have the ink, and I'll show you that in just a second. So you want to pull out ones that have some blank space that are not 3D. Here are some of the ones that these two and this one I found worked really well. This one tore up my envelope, and this one demolished my envelope because it's so detailed. All right, so let me show you what I'm talking about. I used the folders, and this one I used ground espresso, and I took my ink and I just spread it over the top of this, and then it's on the flat part of this. And so then when it pushed in the imprint, the raised parts are white, and then the other part, the flat part, is brown. equal. I think I could take a water brush if I wanted and do some detail. And then this other side is also very cool. So that's the debossed side. And that's leftover ink. I didn't re-ink that one, but I think it's pretty neat. All right, and let me show you a couple other ones. Here is, I love this debossed side. However, see how it's kind of chewed into? So this one was a little bit more on the detailed side, and it did kind of eat up my envelope, but it is still really cool. And then here's the swirl, and then here's this one. I think this one turned out perfect. I love how this one, and this one had green left over. But look, it's so cool. There's another one of those. Here's one. I love this white side. I mean, even if you didn't want to ink it, I think that looks really cool. And then here's another with the circuits. Okay, so once you've embossed them, I mean, you can just leave them and have them in your stash that way. So let's do the pink one. Into the hidden paper clip. Okay, so now you're going to have your debossed and your debossed, and then the other side. You have two sides, right, that have different looks. And you can decide which one you want as your outside. And let's say that we want this one, right, which is kind of the technique we've been doing with our embossed folders. Well, I'm going to take the flap from this side, and I don't really want to flip it up because then we don't see the fun debossing. So I'm going to actually cut this off. And then we're going to glue it back on to the bottom of the envelope on this side. I like how that looks too, because you have the white with the pink and then the pink with the white. I think that looks really fun. So let's glue it on. We'll stick this on. So it'd be a great time. Take this to your sewing machine, do a zip zip, and that would look really cute. It would also kind of reinforce it. I'm going to round these corners. Oops. And then you can ink it. Fold it, and I'm going to ink this middle part, just like that. Okay, so now I have the outside of our little pocket. Okay, now I'm going to take a piece of this, and I'm just going to cut right through. And I want this smaller than my envelope, the width of this part. I want this smaller. I'm going to fold it over and cut it. So now this piece is going to go in here, and I want it hidden. I don't want it to be able to see it. And then this is what we're going to put our paper clip on, like that. And we're going to add some glue to this side and this side. And this is creating our hidden paper clip. Just glue that in there, and then this creates the hidden portion of the hidden paper clip. So there you go. Cute, right? And now it's just a matter of decorating. Super easy. So now we have a pocket here, and we have a pocket here, and it goes around a book page. So cute. All right, let's make another one, and then we'll decorate. I think I want to do this grungy one. Same thing. I'm going to cut off my flap. And I'm going to glue it back here. My son, I don't know if you can hear, he has friends over. They're playing a game. So they might be a little rambunctious. All right, I'm going to glue this on. glue. Fold this over. Stick this in the middle, and there we go. Around our corners if we want. All right, and then ink it up, and then it's ready for decorating. Okay, so here we go. These are all ready to be decorated. I pulled out some scrap ribbons, and I have a bunch of these little clusters that I made who knows when, but they're perfect size for these. And then I have some tags. I was thinking this blue from the other day when we did boho would look really stunning on this one. So I'm going to add some of this here. I want some brown in the back. I think the blue is going to take it. Steal the show. And this one I didn't put ink on the other side of the embossing folder, so it's white, but I think that looks cool too. All right, but I'm covering it up, so there's that. And then let's see, do I have anything? A bird would be cute. Yeah, let's do that. And having these clusters ready-made that you did in another, sitting and crafting session makes this super easy to come together. I love it. Okay, and then let's do this on this side. And then these are ready. It just kind of builds on top of itself. I love it. And then let's see, do I have anything? I'm going to go with the same idea. Hey, why not? Okay, that one is ready. I have a couple tags here. There you go. Then you would just slide it on your book page. And I think I'm going to use some of the Tim Holtz, what is this called on the edge of his fabrics? Sorry, the daughter came in. I glued on eclectic and elements on this side. I'll layer that behind it. The little bits that I have. I think I'm going to put this little stamp in the corner of this one. And then on this side, let's see, I like this little clock. I'm going to put that there, right there. Maybe we'll go this way. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And to do my 3, it's getting crazy. My glue is getting crazy, my gosh. I'm going to go down here. All right, so there's that side, and there's that side. Last night, my son and his friends went to see the new, oh, come on, Cara, Minecraft movie, and they all wore suit jackets and vests and red ties and wear sunglasses. Because I guess one of the Minecraft characters, No, one of Minecraft characters, Cara. That's how they dress in the game. So they needed me to take them to Dollar Tree so they could get matching glasses. Pretty funny. That's kind of fun. Is that too much lace with lace though? I'm going to do this one. And then today, a couple of the same kiddos from yesterday are here again. And we were joking, like, oh, you never left. Nope, they are back. And then later today, taking my daughter to get her senior pictures taken. We're a little slow on the uptake, but better late than never, I suppose. All right, let's see. I'm going to put this on this one. And then next weekend is prom. It's just crazy. You know, the school year is nuts. A lot going on. And I'm trying to get my 100 days without skipping any. And oy, oy, oy. It's pretty nutty. I think I want butterfly. See, this leaf is too fallish, and this looks spring to me. Lighter one? I like the lighter one. And my glue is exploding. Oh my gosh. There we go. Let's take another look. So here we go. This one, I can put a little tag with this guy. Cute. And here's this one. Of course, you would decorate your tag, but super cute. And here's this one. And this side, let's put this one. So cute. And then they just, like I said, slide right on. And this is our book page. Side of your book. Cute. Super cute. And here's this one. And this one. And then this, look it. We just busted out a bunch. And I still have more folders that are embossed for another project. Okay, well thank you so much for joining me. If you liked the video, the idea, thumbs up would be wonderful. If you want to consider subscribing, that would just tickle my heart. And I'll see you back here tomorrow for letter F and an exciting, I'm super excited. I'm launching my new kits. If you like Tim Holtz and you like fabric, you're going to like these kits. So come on back tomorrow and check those out. And again, as always, have a wonderfully crafty day. Bye-bye.